Hello, everybody. How are you? This is Uncle Bruce, and I'm here again today with Mr. Juvenal. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for asking. Hi, everybody.
So today we're going to talk about leadership, a little bit
Yeah,
about leadership. So I'm going to
yeah,
show you the article that we're going to be talking about today. I'll share my screen with you. And this is the article here. It says, if your team can't function without you, you're not leading, you're managing. Okay. And so we want to
sure,
lead in a company. We don't want to only manage, we want to lead. Because if it's your company or your team, they need to function without us. And that's the idea here.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
So let's
yeah.
go ahead and get started with the discussion here. What are your thoughts, your initial thoughts about this topic?
You know, it's an important topic because I think it's something that affects everybody in the corporative world and
Mm-hmm.
you know, because I think that there are a very important uh, change in the mindset of workers in general because I think everyone is pursuing more balance between the personal and work life,
Mm-hmm.
and there are another concepts that human resources like a lot to discuss, like the sense of belonging, uh, passion for the activity you do.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, it's very important to achieve a high performance, to feel that you belong that work environment, to feel that you are very important to the company. So in this picture, it's very important to have a very mature leadership,
Mature. Mm-hmm.
mature
Mm-hmm.
leadership. You
Mm-hmm.
know, because on the other hand, you will lose your team, you will lose their engagement. So uh, just to summarize, I think leadership is an art. It's a kind of art, you know. It's a matter of auto consciousness,
Uh,
okay,
Consciousness, yes.
consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
and to perceive that you as a leadership, or as a leader, or as an owner or founder,
Mm-hmm.
you are only one. So
Right.
it's
And so
necessary to
that's
delegate.
that's one thing that was found, talked about right here is that
Yeah,
real leadership isn't about being indispensable. So why don't more founders take time off? So
exactly.
I'm a founder of English Brazil, okay, or I'm the founder, and then I had some other people that are working with me. They were partners, but
Hmm.
now it's just me as the founder, and I just took a 2.5 week vacation. But it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. It was a little bit difficult, but I have some good people that are running the show without me. So I'm very
Hmm.
thankful for them. They're good people, good workers. And something that's very important is that you train people, like I think you were talking about a little bit, train people to be independent thinkers, not only doing what you say to do. No, they can see what they need to do, but then they see something else they should do too, and they do it. Or they might ask,
Exactly.
"What do you think? Should we do this over here, or what?" So they are able to perceive and observe things that need to be done or should be done, and they either do them or they ask for further guidance to do them. But it's without me having to ask, look at the thing again, and they just perceive what's going on. So
Hmm.
finding these types of workers and coworkers, because I don't look at myself as like the boss. Okay, I know I am,
Yeah.
but it doesn't matter. I look at all of them as important people, including yourself. You're part of the English Brazil because you're helping to develop these videos to help people to have ability to listen in a podcast or even watch the video if they're interested.
Hmm.
But this is also very important, is that it's not only me, it's everybody working together as a team, making it all happen. So I'm happy to have people that have this mindset to do what's necessary or ask for more clarification or just be responsible, just do the right thing. I'm happy.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is the reason that I say the auto consciousness is very important
mm-hmm,
because it's a loudness or humility exercise
mm-hmm,
to recognize that you are so good in some areas or some fields of knowledge,
mm-hmm,
and uh, to hire the right people to do the other things,
mm-hmm,
to do the other activity, the other tasks that you can't, uh, you know, uh, do all the stuffs at the same time.
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
it's a very important exercise.
It is. It is. And so this idea, whoops, there's something else here. Sorry about that. Um, right here, this topic here, stepping away is a mark of strength, not weakness. So if you're able to step away from your company
Hmm.
and not be present all the time, then that's a strength. It's not a weakness. So I thought that was an interesting
Yeah,
point that they made here. It shows leadership and it shows sustainability. So those are very important. And trust.
yeah.
Trust beats control every time. I remember when I was going through my bachelor's degree and studying about leadership and about management. I had a class about this topic, and I remember because I was in the military, and in the military, they're more about controlling and directing
Hmm.
and not giving trust and independent ability to do things. But it's very important. That's one thing that sets the United States military apart from other militaries because they give them more trust and control. Not always, but many times. And when you do that, it gives the people on the team the ability to make decisions. And that gives people more confidence in themselves and it helps the mission to go. They're not waiting for you to say the next thing to do. Okay. So that's very important. In a company, it's the same way. So I'm thankful for this education of working on my bachelor's degree in management that the military basically said go to school and they paid for that. And so I'm happy that I had those classes and it helped me to understand my role as a leader in the military. Yes, I was a sergeant at that time and different
Hmm.
levels of sergeant. And so I had the responsibility to accomplish the mission. But my soldiers had to help me accomplish the mission. And I needed to give them trust and to let them do the things that they needed to do without me watching everything that they do. I need to give
Yeah,
them trust and ability to do the job. So I did that. I learned that through my college education and through leadership training in the military. So I was thankful for all that. I'm happy. So it's helped me to develop
yeah,
who I am today.
yeah. And yeah, there is a curiosity about, I think in other countries like USA is the same, but here in Brazil, our regulatory in financial markets
Mm-hmm.
uh, has a rule that is obligatory to inside the companies, inside banks or financial companies or IPs and other companies in the financial market. It's obligatory for all leaders inside the company take at least 2 weeks
A
of vacation.
vacation?
Yeah, it's obligatory. Why? Because it's necessary. All company shows that they are able to keep the activity running, even the leadership are not in place.
Mm, that's good.
And
Because I know in
there
Brazil,
is,
you can you can take money in exchange for your vacation time.
yeah, yeah, but it's a point of auditing
Uh-huh.
or compliance
Uh-huh.
or internal controls, because if there is someone that never takes some days off, there is something wrong, fraud
Yeah.
or something like that. So
Uh-huh.
it's necessary to take some days off, and for the regulators, it's a good opportunity to see that there is something wrong,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
some scheme, fraud
Could
scheme,
be, could
fraud,
be. Yeah.
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 So it
So
makes sense.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's good because mental health is a very important part. If you don't take time off from work, you're going to get burned out, okay?
Hmm.
Or you're going to have mental problems other than burning out,
Exactly.
okay? You could become like very sick inside with your organs not functioning properly because you're at the office all the time, sitting in the chair, watching the computer, if that's the kind of work you do,
Hmm.
and you're not going to be in good health after a period of time, whether it be 5 years, 10, or 15 years, your body's going to suffer because you're not taking time to get away from the stress. So,
Exactly. Exactly. When I during the time I worked as an advisor of a financial company,
mm-hmm.
I used to say to the president, "Okay, the presidency is it's a lonely job.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so the final decision, okay, concerns to you.
Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt about this, but it's necessary to you to gather people or specialized people, trust people that can walk with you,
Mm-hmm.
to give you information, to give
Mm-hmm.
you data, and sometimes to challenge the beliefs you have, you know, um, to permit the company to grow up,
Mm-hmm.
you know. That it's an important thing, and to allow you to take some days off and to have free time to think in the future of the company, to think strategically uh, what will be the next steps for the company.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Well, one thing I noticed here also in this article is that it talked about not being afraid to outsource. It's coming from the perspective of talking about leaders in a company, whether it be a startup company or a developed company. But they said that you
hmm.
should not be afraid to outsource because as a startup company, you're basically doing everything by yourself
Yeah.
or only with a few people that you give control to. And outsourcing is a big factor. There's a cost for that, but it's also a cost to try to maintain everything by yourself. So they're saying don't be afraid to
Yeah.
outsource. Outsourcing finance, outsourcing some other administrative things. So that was
Payroll.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's payroll is a payroll. The outsourcing is a very is a strategic plan that you can run. It's very important to see cost and benefits,
Mm-hmm.
what you gain or what you lose.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's a question of okay, let it go. What is not strategic for me,
Mm-hmm.
I will keep my attention in tasks that really matters for me and for company. And
Mm-hmm.
operational tasks I can outsource.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that was interesting to read in the article and to think about that because in English Brazil right now, I have somebody that I trust a lot. He does a lot of work, and I'm trying to develop more people, but it's not easy.
Hmm.
It's not easy to do that because there has to be the right fit. There has to be the right chemistry between the people that are working in the group, the organization, and you have to have a sense of trust with them. So I'm doing that, but it's a long process actually because you have to select the people, then you have to go through the training process. I had somebody recently, and it didn't work out because they had a problem with stress, and so they had a what do they call that? Anxiety anxiety attacks, panic attacks.
Okay.
So I didn't
Okay.
know that. And I was giving that person more and more work to do. And,
Hmm.
you know, that person didn't want to say, I can't do it. And so then it became a point where it's like they were overloaded, overwhelmed. And then he just said, I can't do it, man. I said, oh no, I got to start all over again. But this is life. Life is not easy.
Yeah.
And you have to go through ups and downs. And I hope that that person can get beyond that point sometime in the future and not have these panic attacks. But it's a reality for some people. They have these things and they have to go through counseling and stuff like that. It's normal in that sense, you know. But it's still
Hmm.
difficult as a leader of a company, thinking that you were on the right track of getting somebody trained, and then all of a sudden, oh, I can't do it, you know, because they're overwhelmed. So being a leader has a lot of ins and outs and ups and downs, but overall, it's the best thing is to find people you can trust and to trust them, to do let them do what needs to be done, and not be a micromanager looking at everything that they're doing.
Yeah.
No, no, that's not going to work. That's not going to work.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And the people management, I think it's the hardest part of a leader role
Mm-hmm.
because the technical tasks tasks you can do a course, you can study or hire a consultant.
Yeah, hire a consultant.
Yeah,
Yes.
a consultant or it's easy, but manage people you are leading or handle uh, with with aspects that you can control, like culture,
Mm-hmm.
experience, uh, the expectation of people, uh, life in general, the social position of everyone, families, and other stuff. So, man, it's very
Yeah,
difficult.
I have an expression. It is life happens. You know, everything's going,
Yeah,
and all of a sudden something happens. Yeah, life happens, and life
yeah.
is not perfect, and life has its ups and downs. And so, um, we have an understanding in English Brazil that if a teacher or an organizer, we call them, if they can't do the work, well, there's a WhatsApp group they can say, "Hey, can somebody help me?" And most of the time, somebody steps up, says, "I can help you. Let's do it." Because
Yeah.
we're not busy all the time every day, so we have some time, some flexibility to help others. So it's been working out very good, and I'm very thankful for the people that are working
Hmm.
with me because the idea with English Brazil is to help Brazilians speak English and to speak it more fluently. And it's not something that happens like, okay, I took a class, I'm all good now. No, it's a process. It's a process. And so it doesn't
Yeah.
happen automatic. You have to go through time of thinking and speaking, because speaking English is not as it's not the same as listening to the English. English listening to English is only 50% of the communication. The other 50% is talking. And until you talk, you can't talk. You think you're listening to people and watching videos, and you think, oh, now I can talk because I know more. It's like, yeah, we'll try it. Because talking is
Hmm.
different than listening and watching movies, videos, and all these other things, and podcasts, even. You have to use the language with developing the ideas and then speaking, because pronunciation is very important too. There are different
For
parts
sure.
of the speaking that are important, and one is pronunciation. And pronunciation in English is not easy because in Portuguese we have accents. We have the circumflex, we have the chill. We have different accents, and that helps
Yeah,
us to understand how to pronounce a word. In English, we don't have that, and it's very
for
complicated
sure.
because, like the word
For sure.
psychology, okay, psychologia, you have
Hmm.
two Y's and two O's, and they're all pronounced different in the same word.
Yeah.
It's like, why? I don't know. So it's,
Yeah.
pronunciation can be tricky, but it's okay. Well,
Yeah.
listen, it
Big
was good.
challenge.
Yeah, it was good talking about this topic. You always select good topics, man. I really appreciate it. So, is
Thank
there any
you.
final thing you want to mention about the article or about leadership in general?
No, I think I think it's a very good reading. I think everybody that you know has some corporate role should read this article in order to understand some stuff and to understand the leadership role
Mm-hmm.
because it's the what is the word, the matter bone, the matter is
Matter.
the central, yeah, it's the central of any kind of company, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Central point. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. So I really appreciate you being here with me today and to help us talk about this topic. So, guys, appreciate you listening, watching, whatever you're doing. Hope that you enjoyed it and hope to see you again the next time. So, see you later.
See you guys. Nice week for everyone.